Well, welcome back to another episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds. First of all, I've got to ask for your understanding. One of the neighbours is having some construction work done. It's making a lot of noise. So if you hear some banging and some thudding, please forgive me. I'm going to power through regardless. Now, on today's episode, well, maybe the thumbnail was a little bit provocative. Maybe our form is not in the toilet right now, but it's kind of, it's kind of it's kind of hanging over the edge, and if we're not careful, it could get flushed away. We got two massive games in this episode. We are away at Notts County, and then 3 days later away at Stockport. They are both in the playoff places, and as you can see by the table, we are currently sitting outside of those playoff spots. We have to get some good results today to put ourselves back in the playoff picture. Let's get into this. Let's go. Welcome back. Yes, once again, we are turning dog turds into diamonds here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds in the Vanarama National League. Since you were last here, let's go straight to the results so you can see what's been happening. Things have been a little bit tough. When you were last here, we got destroyed at home by runaway leaders Gloucester. They are looking awesome. We then had a little bit of a recovery. We won 2-0 away at Havant and Waterlooville. It was a really good performance. If we just have a look at the stats from this game, you can see we completely dominated them, completely played them off the park. And if you remember at the end of the last episode, I kind of threw my toys out the pram. I made a load of changes to the starting lineup, and the boys that came in did a great job here. James Price got his second Vanarama National League goal of the season. I think that was his second. He is actually our top scorer, but the majority of his goals have come in the cups. Smith in goal did a really good job, although he didn't have a shot to save. And it was just really, really nice after that Gloucester humiliation. It was nice to get a good performance here and get back to winning ways. That put us back into the playoff spots. We then played at home against Weston-super-Mare in the FA Trophy third round. And we've equalled last season's achievement by getting to the fourth round of the FA Trophy. It's a tournament I really want to do better in this season. I used this game as a little chance for redemption for a few of the players that were on the field against Gloucester. Gibbs came back in, Hardy came back in up front, and both of them were absolutely superb. The Gibbs-Hardy combination really does look like it can grow into something. They've been a little bit inconsistent, both of them so far. Against the biggest teams, they haven't been quite so effective, but when they click, they really do click. So you can see it was kind of a rotated lineup here. Radcliffe coming in at left back, Gallagher, Allison and Sawunmi coming in at the back with Paul. Iqbal got a start on the left, and just another really good performance. Only 2-1, but it was a confident showing. And that allowed us to rest players before going to Chesterfield away. And Chesterfield are another one of those teams that are looking for the playoff spots. And you can see it was Joe Hardy that got the winner. It was a very tight game. We were just about the better team, just about worth it. But Joe Hardy, set up by Gibbs again, making the difference. Hardy came off the bench here. I started Price to reward him for his goal in the previous league game, and he kind of disappointed again. So we are struggling for consistency from our attackers, but there were 3 really hard-fought points against another top team. So it's the kind of team we have to be taking points off. And it was the same with Barnet away in the next game, and this was really disappointing. Again, a top team. They if you look at the stats, they probably were the better side. They have the better XG, more shots on target. I guess we've got to be pleased at getting out there with a 1-1, but even more so because you can see in the 48th minute Lee Brown was sent off. I am now playing to not get stuck in because the sendings off have just got to be such a big problem now. So Lee Brown sent off in the 48th minute. At that point, we were on top in this game. And obviously, as you can see from the XG on the right-hand side, that was the point at where the game swung. They then took control with that extra man. And we also had Smith sent off right at the end of the game. So we finished with 9 men. And yeah, it was just a wake-up call, really, that I need to stop playing to get stuck in. I need to use that when it's really necessary and not every game, as I have done basically since this save started. But we'll leave it for now. The result was good though. Barnet are another team going for the playoffs, so a draw away, I can't complain. We then took on 2 on paper seemingly easier games against Woking and Kidderminster. The first was Woking away. They are struggling down the bottom of the table, fighting against possible relegation, and you can see, look at this, we totally dominated the game, and they ended up 2-0 winners from 3 shots on target. Really disappointing with our strikers. It was a really frustrating game. I don't want to say we were FM'd, because I mean, we just, I don't know, it just, even with those stats, it didn't feel like we were really in control. And you can see at the end of the game there, I mean, that is when we start going for it and we start throwing caution to the wind. But the second half, their XG goes up above ours. Well, actually, I'm getting confused, aren't I? We're the blue XG. It was ours that went up above them at the end of the game. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is, so the XG kind of sounds me out there. I should have practiced this before, shouldn't I? The XG kind of sounds me out here. Although we had decent stats, in terms of the XG and the chances created, we were really poor until the last part of the game, when we were kind of going for it a bit more. But it was a disappointing performance. I did have to make changes here because everyone was so tired. Just again, with the amount of games in quick succession that you get in the Vanarama National League with that late start to the season, I did have to rest players. So we had Paul and Ratcliffe in the fullback positions. Paul in particular was really poor. Butcher in midfield was very poor. Hughes on the left wing as well. It was a frustrating game. Again, it showed that we shouldn't get too carried away. We're not, in truth, we are not promotion candidates. I think if we can get into the playoffs with the squad that we've got, it would be a great achievement. And then next season, we can really focus on getting the quality in that can really give us that promotion push. We then drew 1-1 at home against Kidderminster. You can see again a pretty even game. We went ahead. They equalised in the 72nd minute. It was one of them where you kind of saw it coming, but it seemed like there was nothing I could do to escape it. Yeah, they kind of came back at us in the second half, had a lot of shots on target, had the better XG in the end. So you probably have to say they deserved it. But yeah, disappointing. Hardy had another game here where he didn't score. He's been blowing hot and cold, to be honest, Joe Hardy. You can see he's got 4 in 10, 4 in 8 starts, 3 in 6 starts in the league. So, I mean, it's kind of an acceptable start, but yeah, he's kind of been on and off very much. Yeah, I would like to see him, as he gets used to the side, I would like to see him really start show a little bit more consistency. So yeah, this is kind of the tactics I'm looking at for this game coming. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how things go. Sam Blair has got his place back in the team right now. I did drop Adam Smith after the Woking defeat, but to be honest, he has been very good. 3 clean sheets in his 7 appearances. 5 conceded in 7. He has been very good. He is technically better than Sam Blair. So I think there's a little bit of a competition on for the starting goalkeeper spot, but we'll see how it goes. For today, Sam Blair is going to be back in the team. Jay Smith, at the moment, is going to keep his place on the right wing. I've dropped Lee Brown to the bench. Sorry, the right back position for Jay Williams. He is going to keep his place at right back. Bailey Clements at left back. Gabadebo and George Ray at centre back. Jack Earing and Isaac Smith are going to start in the centre midfield. Again, there's a real battle on between Isaac Smith and Ryan Crosdale as to who gets that starting spot as the ball-winning midfielder. Neither of them are fully convinced. Crosdale has probably been a little bit better, but I want to try and give Isaac Smith a chance. Ronan Curtis on the right wing. He has been pretty good since he signed. And Liam Gibbs hopefully starting to find form now. He is starting to get some assists. He still hasn't scored, but 5 assists. And again, he's one of these players that's been a little bit hot and cold. But when he is hot, he really is hot. I mean, he really is. He's like a non-league Iniesta. Some of the passes that the highlights throw up from Liam Gibbs are absolutely incredible. So I'm hoping he can have one of his good days against Notts County. Then Thomas Hughes on the left wing. Again, blowing hot and cold, but when he's on it, he's a real great asset to the team. The man that's come through all three of the divisions that we've played in, and Joe Hardy will get the starting place. I have actually dropped James Price out of the matchday squad for the next game. He is the top scorer in the team, but he's just been so inconsistent in the Vanarama National League. I think he's just a little bit off the level. So we've got Lee Brown, Ryan Crosdale, Matt Butcher on the bench, who has also been flattering to deceive. Max Waltman, who can play on either wing, and Lloyd Marshoes, who can play as the number 10 or as the striker. That will be the team. You can see the team are all pretty tired, and that is because there's actually 5 days to go until this game. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, and I will see you guys back in 5 days' time. Okay, we are ready to take on Notts County then. These were relegated from League 2 last season, so they are sure to be a very good team. They're 2 points above us, but we've got 2 games in hand. So a result here would really put us in a strong position in terms of cementing our place in the playoffs before the halfway stage of the season. A very tough game. We're going to have to see what happens, but these are the teams that we really need to be taking points off if we want to be in those playoffs at the end of the season. They're a strong side. You can see they're playing 4-4-2 here, which personally I feel like we can deal with that formation. We've already seen the team. They're all back to full fitness now. Hopefully they can come up with the goods here. And, well, let's see what happens. The construction work, by the way, is still going on outside. So if you hear some bangs and crashes, forgive me, but we are going to concentrate on this game. So really tough away game. We've actually played most of the top teams in this first half of the season. We've played at home. So I'm kind of pleased to get these guys away in the first half of the season, just with the fact that it gives us the home advantage over some of these teams we're hopefully going to be competing against in the second half of the season. So the pressure's on them. The players don't react to that, but as is customary now, they do, as we just go through the lines, they do react a little bit better with a little bit of personal attention. And all I'm going to do is I think I'm going to mark their fullbacks, just in case their fullbacks start pushing on. So Hughes on their right back, Curtis on their left back, and hopefully that will prevent any overlapping from those players when they attack us. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. We'll see if we have to make changes as things go on. I have generally had to make a lot of changes. And Notts County Stadium looks absolutely huge there, by the way. Yeah, I have had to make a lot of tactical changes, it feels like. I've had to adapt a lot to games. What I've been starting out with hasn't always really had success. But right now, I mean, it's a very, very boring game, but I'm kind of happy with this at the moment. I'm kind of happy to take a boring game. Just, like I say, taking points off of these teams away from home, I just think is really, really positive. It wants us to work the ball into the box, or our assistant manager, Mr. Llewellyn, wants us to work the ball into the box. That is something we were doing at the start of the season, and it didn't really seem to be working. And Hardy hits the post. I don't believe it. What a great move that was. That was absolutely beautiful. And Hardy misses one-on-one. We really need him to be taking those. That's what he was bought in for. We went over the wage budget to get him. And that is why we want him to be taking those chances when he gets them. Let's have a look. I'm going to say I'm proud of your efforts. And let's just give them a little extra oomph before they go out onto the field. I'm pleased with that first half. Yes, it was boring. Yes, there was only one highlight, but we've had the much the better of the game, and that's really positive. That kind of shows that against most of the better teams we are competitive. Gloucester blew us away, but against most of the other teams, it looks like we can compete with these guys. I'm saying that, and they're now probably going to go one up, aren't they? As they get their first highlight of the game. Crossed in and straight at Blair. Good save, Sam Blair. So important to have a decent goalkeeper, isn't it? Hardy can't compete there. Earing loses it. Back with Bailey Clements. Can we build this up into something now? Smith and Gibbs have both been booked. Might have to think about maybe bringing Ryan, as we get in with Earing. Can he finish? No, he can't. That is another absolute sitter. Oh, and now Williams will go into the book. No, he hasn't gone into the book. But let's make some changes here. We've missed two absolute sitters. We really should be up here. And look how tired Jay Williams and Gabadebo are. They just got tired so quickly. I'm going to bring Isaac Smith off. He's had a poor game. Ryan Crosdale can come on in that ball-winning midfield role. Ronan Curtis has also been really poor. I'm going to save one change for now, but I think we've got a number of candidates that could come off. I've got to keep an eye on Gabadebo. I mean, we don't really have a defensive change for Gabadebo now, but Earing is very tired. I think the change is going to need to be for Curtis or for Hughes. Let's demand more. I mean, we really should be doing better here, shouldn't we? I tell you what I am going to do as they get a corner, please. This is turning into the story of our season now. We are the better team. We make chances and we just don't take them. That is so annoying. We have been much the better team here. Let's have a look at what we can change here. They've had 2 shots on target. Come on, Football Manager. Come on, Football Manager, for goodness sake. I'm going to move Gibbs into a deep line forward role. And I'm going to make the change for Ronan Curtis, who's playing a 6. He's been absolutely awful. Let's get Waltman on. And let's go to an attacking mentality. And let's be a little bit quicker with the ball. Give the players the freedom to express themselves. And we're going to shoot on sight. And let's give it more width as well. Now that we're playing 4-4-2, 4-2-4 rather, let's try and really use that width. And we're going to distribute to the target man as well from the keeper. And now we're going to get stuck in. We're going to press. And we're going to go with a high line. I am really frustrated at this. Really frustrated. We've been much the better team. Yes, we haven't had many highlights, but the 2 highlights we've had have been great opportunities to score. Let's berate the players, see if they can get some motivation out of them. It doesn't. It just depresses them more. Are we going to be able to do anything here? Let's go full on attack if this doesn't go in. Hardy, can he get the ball in? He can't. They are now on the break. Oh, what a shame. Our season really is going the wrong way now. And games like this, where we are the better team and we fail to take advantage, are going to cost us, as they very nearly get a second. Oh man, come on. Come on, boys. Let's pull this out. Come on. Crosdale, great ball into Waltman. Can he get the ball across? He can't. Earing to Hardy. Back to Waltman. Can he get the cross now? Back to Earing. And Earing shoots over. And that is probably going to be it, isn't it? Oh, man. How have we lost this? How have we lost this? We are so good defensively, and we just cannot take our chances. That is really, really annoying. I'm going to tell them to trust the process. And that is so frustrating. What can I do? I really do think that Joe Hardy in this league should be good enough to make the difference in games like that. And he's missed that sitter in the first half. And we've got to pick ourselves up now. We've got another one in 3 days' time, a really big game. And that drops us down to 11th. But I mean, we do still have those 2 games in hand. It just means we have to win them to get ourselves back up into the playoffs. That's the frustrating thing, isn't it? How annoying. Right. I will see you guys in 3 days' time. I'll go into the press conference now. I'll see you guys in 3 days' time for Stockport away. Let's see if we can rescue our season here and finish this episode with a decent win. Okay, we're ready to go. It is Stockport away. They are 4th in the table. They are another very good team. If we win, we go 2 points behind them with those 2 games in hand. So all is not lost. If we lose, of course, this starts to become a bit of a bad run that we have to get out of. And morale, to be honest, is kind of starting to suffer a little bit. They're another team playing 4-4-2, which I think we can deal with. But yeah, if you look here, morale is starting to get down into kind of the average area. Whoa, as I swap around Bailey Clements and Lloyd Marsh there. I've had to make a few changes. There's a lot of tired players. Gabadebo is absolutely shattered. He needs a rest. I can't give him a rest because we've got Darlington in the FA Trophy next. But he's not fit enough to start today, nor is Jack Earing. So the team that's going to start today, Sam Blair in goal again, Lee Brown at right back, Bailey Clements at left back, Sawunmi and George Ray at the back. Matt Butcher comes into the midfield with Isaac Smith. Ronan Curtis, do I want to start him? No. After his last performance, he has got to come out. He was absolutely terrible. Max Waltman, who is wanted by Telford, he comes in at right wing. Lloyd Marsh Hughes comes in the number 10 position. Thomas Hughes continues on the left, and Joe Hardy is also very tired. I'm going to stick with him just because of all the other changes I've already made, but James Price comes in on the bench. James Price could make an appearance here, or we've got Liam Gibbs to come in, who's also a bit tired, but he could come off the bench. The other subs, Jay Williams, Ryan Crosdale. I think this game kind of feels like a must-win. I've made one little change as well tactically. I've started playing through the middle. I feel like because we play with 3 midfielders and they are 3 of our more competitive players, I'm going to try and focus the play there. I'm going to see if we get any luck out of that. I just feel like we're so close to being a good team. We just need a little bit of a tweak here and there. I feel like it's one of those in Football Manager where you make that tweak and everything starts to come together. I feel like I'm looking for that. Right, so let's go with our assistant. The media have given you a lot of credit. Go and show that they're right. Okay, they reacted pretty well. And let's see if we can get something out of Bailey Clements. There you go. Yeah, we'll get Bailey Clements motivated as well. Hardy, the only player still not responding, and he's been training awfully. I've had to pick him up on his training. I'm a little bit worried now. I'm going to get our wingers marking their fullbacks again. I think it does have an effect on their attacking play, but I just think it's so important defensively. I mean, you've seen how good defensively we are. We are a very, very good team defensively. We don't concede a lot of goals generally, apart from against Gloucester. But yeah, at the other end, we are really struggling, aren't we? Hopefully we can get something out of it here, but I mean, this is another tough game. The 4th place team in the league, and they are straight in on us with Nolan, and Blair saves it onto the post. What a great save. You certainly can't criticise Blair for our poor run. He has been superb. As they get another corner, it's a shaky start from us. Looks like Stockport got another big stadium. Look at that, it's huge. What is their capacity as we get that ball away? So we've dealt well with the first initial exchange of the game. Again, what am I happy with here? Am I happy just with a draw after the run that we've been on? Or is it, like I say, is it a must win? Do I have to really try and go for it? And they're in again, and it's Nolan again, and it's another great save from Sam Blair. He's saved us twice already. And at the moment, Lee Brown is not dealing with Nolan at all. Coming in off that left wing, and he's looking really dangerous. And they are dominating this game as they get a corner now. What am I going to change here? Because this is only going one way, I think, isn't it? What can we do here? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I'm going to start playing out of defence. I'm going to try and have a little bit more of the ball. And let's go a little bit wider as well. And I'm going to play out to the fullbacks rather than the playmaker. And let's see if that has much of an impact. Let's see what that might do for us. I think with them playing 4-4-2, in theory, we should be able to get our fullbacks on the ball and build up a little bit more. But at the moment, they're dominating, aren't they? Let's demand more from the players. Butcher back in the team. He's been a disappointing signing so far, Butcher. I was really expecting Matt Butcher to be an important player for us this season. Hardy out to Hughes. This is a nice move. It's put in, and Max Waltman has missed a sitter at the back post. He was offside anyway, was he? Or was that signalling the goal kick? And then straight from that miss, we go a goal down. Oh, man. You could have scripted it, couldn't you? Beaten in the air there. We've got a lot of players who should be good on set pieces. Let's demand more again. Can we get something out of this before half time? The previous game we were excellent. In this game we have been very, very poor as Sawunmi misses another one. And there's the difference for you, isn't it? As we drop down to 13th in the league. Sam Blair now, and now we're just trying to play out a little bit more. That does seem to have helped, even if we have gone a goal down. We do seem to have had a few highlights in our favour now. Lloyd Marsh Hughes out to the wing with Thomas Hughes. And this is a nice little move at the moment. Butcher gets Waltman in, and Waltman equalises. Well done, Butcher. Well done, Waltman. And that's what we wanted from Butcher when we signed him at the start of the season, just to be much more involved at that end of the field, just make a bigger difference for us. And Max Waltman coming in for Price, not for Price, coming in for Curtis, and he's done the business. And that is a nice turnaround. We do seem to have got back into the game after those changes. Let's go. So what do we see? Okay, time to dig in. Come on. Time to dig in and give everything you've got. So again, the players responding well. Joe Hardy starting to get very tired. He's going to have to be subbed off later in the game. So hopefully he can come up with something for us before he's completely shot. We start the second half with the first highlight. Can we make something out of this? No, they win it back. Will O'Malley go long here? He will. Do we win it in the air? We don't. So Wunmi gets in there nicely though. And they now build up. And I hope this doesn't come to anything. We had to work so hard to get ourselves into this game. And so Wunmi is beaten, and Smith has missed a sitter for them, and we are very, very lucky there. So Wunmi done all ends up. Let's demand more of the players here. Ray is very tired. Clements is playing very poorly. I think it's time for some changes, isn't it? We have made absolutely nothing in this second half. Let's get Joe Hardy off. He's been poor. Now the question is, do I go Liam Gibbs for his playmaking ability and move Marsh Hughes up front? Or do I get James Price in there? I think I'm going to move Marsh Hughes up front. And I am just going to not pass into space because he doesn't really have much pace. Outside that, George Ray shattered, but Clements is playing horribly. I'm going to bring Jay Williams on, and I move him to right back and Brown to left back. Those are my two changes for now. Do I go a little bit quicker? Do I move the ball a little bit quicker? I'm going to do it. Let's see if these players can make a difference here. Liam Gibbs, can he find the pass we need? The non-league Iniesta. Let's encourage them this time. Oh, and George Ray is absolutely shattered. I hope that's not going to cost us as well. There's still 20 minutes to go and he is given just about everything. There's no way he's going to be able to play against Darlington. So we lose the ball very easily and they've missed another one. We really are pushing our luck here. Just about time for one more attack maybe. As we go into the last 10 minutes, let's demand more of the players. What change have I got here? 8 minutes to go. What change can I make? I could drop Isaac Smith into defence for George Ray and bring on maybe Crowsdale, or I could make a more attacking change and drop Liam Gibbs back into midfield and really go for it with James Price. I think I'm going to do that, you know. This might be really, really silly. Isaac Smith back into the defence. Liam Gibbs, or do I go Marsh Hughes? I'm going to go Marsh Hughes. Let's drop Marsh Hughes into midfield. Butcher is going to be the ball-winning midfielder. And I'll make Marsh Hughes an advanced playmaker or a deep line playmaker. And then we've got Price and Gibbs combining up front. Let's see if this can do it for us. Oh, come on, boys. Let's have a little bit of positivity coming out of this episode. We've had 2 episodes now where everything has gone wrong for us. Price nearly gets him behind, the ball over the top, beat him. That's a point. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm just going to interrupt this highlight. I'm going to put us back onto passing to space now that Price is on the field. So we win it back there. Can we go? We're trying to go through the middle and it's not really working and we're being crowded out. Marsh Hughes finds Hughes. Gibbs, can he get him in? Back to Hughes, back to Gibbs. Hughes into the back post and it's headed away. And now they're on the counter-attack. Don't do this to me. Oh no. Oh, Football Manager. Oh, Football Manager, I hate you with every ounce of my being. Oh, man. Should I have shut up shop and been happy with the draw? Oh, Football Manager. I detest you. I absolutely detest you. Oh, man. Oh, I mean, we're trying our hearts out here. We are trying our hearts out. We really are giving it, aren't we? We're punching above our weight and we are really trying. Ah, and those feel like 2 really cruel defeats. Yeah, maybe I could have shut up shop. I could have gone for the draw. I mean, we're still not out of the playoff picture. If we win the 2 games in hand, we've got 38 points. But I mean, that's a big if at this point. Ah, Do you know what? I feel like I should have a team meeting. So I've offered Nick Radcliffe out for loan. Nobody wants him. Or they do want him, they just don't want to pay for him. And I've also got some offers for Mason Burstow, our striker from last season. He's obviously not playing just to get his I think it's £160 a week, just to get that off the books. Hopefully he will take one of those offers. Real shame. We're 5 without a win now, look. 2 draws and 3 defeats. It's all kind of unraveling, but I mean, I've got to try and stay positive. We have played the top teams there, and we have been really unlucky. Look, we're on a really poor run now if you look at that recent run of form, but in theory the games do now get a little bit easier. Hopefully, as we go through this run now, we're going to be able to start picking up points again. We are playing a lot of teams in the bottom half of the table now. I think what we might be looking to do is come back maybe for Dagenham and Redbridge at home, who are another team in the playoffs, or Chesterfield at home, who are right up there. We then go Scunthorpe and Fard. I mean, this little run here of 5 games is a really tough run again. So I think we might come back possibly at the start of that run and see how things are looking. Hopefully over these 6 league games here, we can pick up a number of points and kind of get the season back on track. And hopefully we're going to beat Darlington at home in the next round of the FA Trophy. Hopefully we can get to the 5th round there. Let's have a look at the schedule. No, so if I go to fixtures and results and I look at, that's okay. So where can I see the tree? All right, stages. There we go. There you go. I'm getting all mixed up here. So the 4th round. Let's have a look at a tree. All right. So after the 5th round, it would be into the quarterfinals, and you're now sort of starting getting to the real serious stages. So hopefully we can win that game. We can get in here to the 5th round and then start thinking about the later stages. Having a good cup run would be very, very nice. It would be kind of a nice upper for the season. Have a good cup run, have something to get excited about, and hopefully get our season together again and get ourselves into those playoff positions. So that'll be all from me. We will see how things go, and I will see you guys next time for another episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds, where hopefully we will be able to start climbing back up the table. Bye for now.